What's going on with you guys? Welcome back to Create Better with Nileseyyniles, the ultimate resource for content creators to help you guys improve your craft and create better content faster. Today's video is about finding inspiration and how to come up with creative video ideas, whether that be for your YouTube channel, your blog, your TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, whatever platform that you're creating for. This video is all about finding inspiration and just creative ways about how you can make that happen for yourself. As you can see on my channel here, I have well over 300 videos that I have posted. Now, some people come up to me all the time, and the question that I often get asked is, how have you been able to do this for so long and you keep coming up with fresh ideas and content? Now, that is a very valid question, and to some people that may be really hard. So I'm going to give you guys 5 ways and 5 things that I do as well to help you brainstorm ideas and come up with just creative ways to make sure you just keep the wheel turning and you just never get burnt out. And a lot of these tips, I'm hoping that you guys use these to elevate your brainstorming process and just come up with all of these ideas, especially coming from somebody who's literally just filming and shooting every week, all week. Tip number 1 that I'm going to give you guys is, honestly, you just have to explore your interests. Exploring your interests is just one super simple way to just find a lot of video ideas for whatever you're interested in. You got to sit down and really give time to thinking about what hobbies, passions, or specific topics that you find yourself going back to over and over again, and those things that you find yourself really wanting to learn about, also create content around that's also fun, and it's just something that you just are genuinely interested in. You want to take those things and then you want to literally write them down and use that list as a starting point for brainstorming ideas. So when I'm telling you to explore your interests, and I'm saying that from experience, because when you're just doing something that you're not interested in, you're gonna get burnt out way faster. You're gonna wake up and say, I don't feel like doing that today. You're gonna find every excuse to not create if you don't really truly enjoy it. So start with your interests and those things that you really find yourself passionate about, that you feel like you could go on for hours and hours and hours. Those are the things that you want to create content around. You don't want to just be the person that's just creating content around something that you really don't have any interest in, because ultimately you're going to end up hating that every day. You don't want to approach content creation this way, because you will get burnt out very fast. And if this is something that you want to be doing as a full-time career, or this is something that you want to have longevity in, I would suggest you start with your interest as the very first thing, and then just start listing out those things that you feel very passionate about. Tip number 2 that I'm going to tell you guys to do is look for the trends. You want to make sure that you're staying up to date with all of the popular trends and the topics of conversation and whatever niche audience that you are creating for. Those things could either include current events, that can include viral challenges, that could also include emerging technologies, like if you're in the tech space. By tapping into what's popular, you're able to create content that resonates more with your audience and stay up to date with what's relevant within the culture of the content that you're creating. Oh, that was a tongue twister. But you definitely want to be adaptable and flexible to be able to move with the market and flow with the way things are going, because as we know, time moves forward. Like, new things are coming out every day. There's a new dance challenge every day on TikTok. There's a new app that's coming out every day. There's new cameras coming out every day. There's new features that Instagram or TikTok and new policies that YouTube and all of these platforms are incorporating into the system. So you want to be up to date and you want to be on top of all of these things and learning all of these things. That way you can find a way to implement them into your content, and it's just another thing to pull from that people may have questions about, that people may be interested in. Maybe they want to see you do that specific dance. Maybe they want to hear you break down this news story that's going on around the world. Maybe they want to hear you talk about this new technology that just came out. Maybe you have some insider detail that the average person may not know, because you came to your video well prepared, doing more research than the average person, and now you have something to give your audience. So this is why you want to stay up to date with all of those current trends and what's going on within that niche. Tip number 3 is, I'm going to tell you guys to research your audience. When you are creating content, you don't want to just create from a place of not knowing what's going on. And that doesn't mean that you're trying to go viral or anything like that, because that cannot be your goal. But you just want to be updated on what your audience is searching for, so that you can provide content that resonates with them. You don't want to be putting all this time, all of this effort and money and all of these things into the content, and it's just falling on deaf ears. So I'm going to tell you guys to research your audience, because understanding your audience is key to creating content that resonates with them. You want to look at what your audience is already engaging in, whether that be on your channel or other social media apps. You want to look at what they're liking, what they're commenting on, what they're sharing most of, and you want to research those things. You want to take notes of all of those things. Those things are going to give you more insight into what type of content that they're interested in, and that, hey, they might want to see more of that from you. So make sure that you properly research your audience. It's going to help you in the long run, I promise. Tip number 4 is, I'm going to tell you to, wait for it, Brainstorm. Once you go from step 1 to step 3, you're gonna have a really good starting point and a basis as to what to start brainstorming for and what kind of video ideas that you may want to start going into. Something that I do a lot personally, and what you may want to do, is you can either use like a mind map, which is basically just like a web that actually, I'll just put it up on the screen. This is a mind map. This is something that you could use on a day-to-day basis to organize your ideas for content that you feel resonates with your audience. Another thing that I use very often is List. I use my notes app all day, and this is just nothing but ideas. So I'm constantly just writing down different ideas all day, whether they just be a random thought or something I just found funny or interesting, I write it down. That's the cool thing about using these lists and making these maps and using these different strategies, is because the thought doesn't have to be fully fleshed out. You don't have to know exactly how you're gonna go about doing it. It's just best to get it out your head and write it down somewhere. So as you're brainstorming, and please don't forget this because this is vital to this step, do not filter, do not judge your ideas in this stage. Please don't judge anything. Just let the ideas flow. I can't tell you how many ideas I've had that honestly they're so bad and I just write them down anyways, because you may feel like it's bad today, but then tomorrow it may not feel that way. Maybe next week it won't feel that way. It's just an in the moment thing, and you just really never want to stunt your creativity, and you just really want to let your thoughts just flow. You want to let these ideas just flow. This is the essence of being a creative. It's just letting your mind do whatever it wants to do and just creating from a free and pure standpoint. So like I said, start utilizing these lists and using these maps to get your thoughts out of your brain so you could at least see them, and then you will go to a flushing out process from there. Tip number 5, and the final tip that I'm going to give you guys, is to experiment and iterate. So whether you have done your brain map already, or you already have a long list of different ideas and different topics, different interests, you've done your research and you've done all of these things, you want to start experimenting with how these things might play out. You want to try out different formats, different styles, and different approaches to see what resonates with your audience the most. And then from there, you're going to use your analytics and feedback to iterate and improve on the content that you're creating over time. Something I tell people very often is that you're never going to just come out and just be the greatest. You have to learn over time. This is something that you're going to put years and years to, especially when you're looking to do this long term. It's okay if you come out and things are not perfect. It's okay if you come out and your sound is not where you want it to be. Your lighting doesn't look how you want it to be. You don't have the best camera quality. It's okay. You just want to start, and you want to take these approaches and start experimenting with things, and you want to just use that time to get better over time. Nothing is going to come out the gate and just be a 10. Even how you see this now, this setup took so long to just think about and actually visually plan out. And even with that being said, I still feel like I could take this setup to another level. What I would have to include, I got a few ideas, but we taking it slow. And that's the goal. Even if you go to my main channel and you literally scroll all the way back to my first videos, you'll see how bad my audio quality was. You'll see how bad the video quality was. I didn't care about color grading. I didn't care about a lot of things, and that's okay because I was learning the fundamentals and the groundwork to get better. So that's my last tip, is just to experiment and iterate. Just try things and then use that feedback and improve over time. I hope that those 5 points prove valuable to you guys. I know they prove valuable to me, and these are things that I do literally every day, all throughout the week as I'm creating content, whether that be for this channel or my main channel. And I hope that these things help you find inspiration in coming up with video ideas and creating content that resonates with your audience. I love you guys. Thank you for stopping by. If you found anything valuable from this video, please make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe, and make sure you guys hit that bell notification so that you can know next time I drop a video, man. Thank you guys for all the support that you're showing. Drop a comment. Let me know if I missed anything, if you got anything valuable out of this. Also, let me know if there's anything that you do differently than I do that may also help other creators. Drop that down below in the comments, because they might like your ideas also, and what you use to help brainstorm for your content. I'll see you guys next time, man, and I am out.